Charles Bowman, and I'm with ADDI Corporation, and I worked at the Los Alamos National Laboratory for many years, and prior to that at the Weiss River Laboratory, and almost all of the science that I've done has been related to this issue. We want to talk about here a new way of destroying weapons plutonium, and by way of introduction, I want to say that this multiplying chain on this slide here, with that is a diverging chain where neutrons multiply and grow rapidly, is the basis for nuclear weapons. That was originated at Los Alamos. Los Alamos carried out many activities with K equal 1, where you keep a chain stable and run it for years, keeping it stable, and that's nuclear energy. Los Alamos had many different reactors that they actually built and operated, and so we have the LWRs today, and that's the way we get a lot of our nuclear energy. But that's 1960s technology that remains today. What can happen right now is to have a decaying chain, where you use an accelerator and a proton beam and make many neutrons and make chains which die away. But if they last for 100 fissions before they die away, then and you start many chains, then these systems can run at just a high power level. It's today's reactors, but they have no critical mass, so they can never explode with this technology. So Los Alamos had a program like this back in 1995 called Weapons Accelerated Transmutation of Waste, and I was leader of that program for a time. And it was proposed as a primary mission to destroy weapons plutonium, and it was said that that technology is too far advanced for us. This is an urgent matter. We've got to get on with it immediately. So 20 years later, we're still discussing this. In the meantime, we have developed many advances in accelerators and the concept of how to do this. And so right now, there's nuclear waste here from in the country and in the world from multiplying systems, from stable systems, from reactors. If you bring accelerators into the picture, you can do things that are very important and different. And so I want to show here in this slide that what happens when you try to burn plutonium, and I show here on the back weapons plutonium, which is like 93% of plutonium-239 and about 7% plutonium-240, and that's the weapons plutonium that we wish to destroy. Back in 1995, we looked at burning it through fast-breeding reactors. And so you see what happens there. Those are reactors that build up plutonium, and so you actually get more plutonium out than you put in, and by about 15%. So the plutonium-239 has gone up, and you can see that there are other isotopes that build in, which are considered to be beneficial.
And you've got just about a minute left, so if you can make your remaining key points.
Okay, so I want to make the point here that if you run it through our system, you can see what's happening, that through our system, once through our new technology, you don't build up plutonium, you eliminate it to a very large degree. And we can show the next one. And then this slide shows different means of burning the plutonium as well. And what happens basically is that what we show here is a probability of giving a particular yield from an explosion. And here you see that you have from a dud to a 20 kiloton explosion and things in between. And weapons plutonium gives a very high yield. But if you take it through our technology, you can see that the yield drops down to a very low value. We have duds here, and the probability of actually getting a weapon to go off is down in the 20 parts per million range.
And if you can just make one point on your final slide.
This is a very simple point. If you burn commercial plutonium, it was said earlier that that's burn weapons plutonium to a form so it looks like commercial plutonium, then that's a very safe thing to do. And basically, this isn't true because when you burn it to that point, there's a 50% probability that a bomb will go off with at least 5 kilotons of nuclear power. And what is that? That's 44 trailer trucks stacked 5 deep on a football field. That's what's going to happen 50% of the time if you take commercial weapons plutonium
Okay,
and convert it
thanks.
to commercial plutonium.
Okay, thanks very much.